Resident Evil Village VR launched onto the PSVR2 on the 22nd of February 2023, and this is the same date PSVR2 had its global release. Now, I brought the hardware on this date, but got so distracted with other titles, I overlooked Village to chase new experiences. Over the past few weeks, I've set to right that wrong, dedicating time to slowly tick my way through the experience. Now, I recently covered the game on episode 72 of my podcast, In PS We Trust, and so it's high time I shared that with you. Now let's dive in. I've been playing Resident Evil 8 VR, and guys, let me tell you, what an incredible experience. So I've just finished House Beneviento, so I'm about halfway through the game, and my god, it has been something special. The biggest difference between VR and playing it on a standard 2D, the first thing you notice is scale. Everything just seems that much more intimidating, that much more scary. It's so immersive that you walk through environments that I know a scare's coming. I know something's around that next corner. I played this game before. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's pretty fucking creepy, mind. Like, pretty mega creepy, to be fair. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, man. What the fuck? You're immediately in there, and it just grabs you by the balls and doesn't let go. It just rips you around and you're going for that roller coaster ride. And the wild thing about it is that it opens up ways to play rather than takes away. So you get the chance to dual wield. You can throw a knife, which you couldn't do in the base game. You can stab like a crazy madman. You can run and just be in full sprint, just running past, shooting somebody with your gun on the side like John Wick, and with a shotgun in the other hand. And you could just do that kind of stuff. And there's something just really, just mechanically incredible about running out of ammo and then having to just do a reload. And then all of a sudden, when there's enemies coming at you, you all of a sudden can't remember where your pouch is or where the pin is for this gun to pull it back because you're just in blind panic. And I didn't get that level of panic from the base game, and I felt that all throughout this, let alone House Beneviento, which shook me to the core. I put this on Twitter, but I was screaming like a bitch when I was running through that entire area. I was terrified. Oh, shit! Fucking hell! Fucking hate kids! I fucking hate kids! Oh god. Easily for me one of the standouts on VR, 100%. For me, this is the best way to play Resident Evil 8, hands down. I think it's better in every single way from the SD version, from the TV version. It's better in every single way. And I think this is definitely a system seller. I think if you were to show somebody this and put them in this for like half hour, 45 minutes, that would be it. That would sell. Yeah, like no questions asked. It's the full game. It's fantastic.
Davey, with Resident Evil now on VR, is there any kind of set pieces that really take the VR to a new level? Because I know Resident Evil, especially when they started doing the movies and they started bringing the 3D action in, they would almost set up set pieces where it would really show off the 3D part of that movie. I remember there was a big axe swing where the whole crowd would duck under it because they saw the axe coming out the screen. Is there any specific things that happen, I suppose, within the new version of Resident Evil VR that really take advantage of it and really show it off to its max?
Not so much in like a gimmicky way, no. It's really just a really well-made game with more control, and because you're immersed into it, the scale is so much bigger. So, you know, right at the start when you get all the werewolves around you and you're waiting for the bell to kind of go off before they run away? Well, that giant werewolf thing, when he jumps down, that guy that you fight near the end of the game with the giant axe, he's monstrous. Like, he's big in the normal game, but actually being there and looking up at him, and him being like 12 foot tall, is wild. It's so, like, it's just so intimidating. And you never had that. Even with Lady D. Lady D, she's walking around, Lady Dimitrescu, and you're thinking, oh, Christ, look at that ass, right? And then next thing, it turns around, and you're like, Jesus Christ, she's a monster. She's huge. It's like this kind of thing that you don't get that level of immersion. There's like a separation there when you're playing it on a TV that you don't have in VR. And that's kind of the gimmick, really. I mean, the rest of it is just, it's all in the mechanics of how it controls, how it shoots, everything else. That would be the kind of thing that gets you into it, I suppose.
There is also a bit of a detriment to playing it in VR, though, isn't there?
There is,
where you can kind of see where the developers cut corners. There's the one scene where you need to get up the elevator escaping from Lady Dimitrescu. And obviously, as you're in VR, the game is supposed to be at a set camera angle where you're looking at your hand pulling the lever. You can just turn your head and look left, and you will see her walking through a wall where they've cut a corner and she's supposed to be coming to get you. So there's that kind of thing where developers have cut a corner in the main game to try and get her in the right place to do the animation. In VR, you're a bit like, oh, that doesn't look like it should happen. But it's what they probably did to just cut a corner and just didn't think about it for VR.
Yeah, see, exactly right. Because you've got free reign of the camera, you can see things that you never normally can. So you can see a lot more kind of detail in that way. The only other downside, I guess, is that when it comes to like reading documents, that's a little bit harder in VR than it is in regular 2D screens, because you just can't quite get the the resolution totally bang on for that. So when you're looking at something really, really close, there's like a bit of blur on that compared to if you don't notice it when you're in the game, but if you're looking, trying to read something, very much harder in VR than it is in SD. But in terms of an overall experience, 100% is I think we rated the game originally like a 9 out of 10, like high 9s. I think this would, if I played this for the first time through in VR, I'd be giving it a 10. It's a much better experience. Much better. I think it elevates it in every single way. So for me, it's at the very least it's a 9, because it is just the same game. But I think for the experience that it's providing me, I rate it as a perfect game. It's been superb, and I can't wait to dive in. It's been so good on VR. It really has. It's been revolutionary. So I'm looking forward to playing that again and diving more into it.
I was just going to ask one more, and I was going to say about the VR and the puzzles that Resident Evil is famous for, but RE8 didn't have a tremendous wealth of puzzles within the game. But I was just wondering if the VR elevated those in any way or hampered them.
Not so. I don't know if it's like being immersed into it has made me just shit at puzzles or not. I'm not sure. I'm definitely struggling a lot more with the puzzles than I was in the base game. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's a case that I'm kind of too distracted, that I can't really see the wood for the trees while I'm in there. I don't know what it is, but I am struggling a lot more with the puzzles. The cool thing about it is that all the like unlocks, the times you put in, like right at the start, one of the first puzzles you do is where you collect 2 different statue heads, like a demon and an angel, and you put them in and rotate them. And that's like the first kind of major puzzle, I suppose, that you see. And so with that, you go onto the door, you press X, and then it comes up with the list of items that you have. And then you physically go and grab them out, slot them in, and turn them yourself using your hands in game. And so you got that extra level of control which is added in. And it's the same with keys as well. Like you'll pick out a key, put it in, turn it in the lock. And so that's all really cool, little immersion. It doesn't really change too much, but it just doesn't break the immersion that you're in the game. And it's a nice little detail that Capcom have done there. The only wish for me is that RE7 would be put over to VR2. That's what I want. I think 7's better than 8. And so if I could play that game through and do like the Marguerite boss fight in VR, that's the kind of thing that would...
Jeez.
Yeah, I think I'd die. I think I'd have a heart attack. But I'd want to experience that. That'd be a great way to die. To go in and do that. So
a good way to go.
It would. It'd be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing. So I'm hoping that one day Capcom decide they want to milk us a little bit and they put that patch out there for VR2, because I would fucking play that in a heartbeat. That would be insanely good. But hey ho. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the insight into one of PSVR2's best experiences. Now I'll be continuing to play through the game right here on the channel, so I hope to catch you in one of the streams. Now if you enjoyed what you heard here, I'd encourage you to check out our podcast. You can find it on all major podcast services and right here on YouTube. I'll have links in the description. Thank you for your time. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.